welcome back to Coffee Shots, the third episode in the series. And today we are going to be looking at an article from a website called disabilityscoop.com about Google and their efforts to improve smartphone accessibility. And as we'll see, they still manage to make it sound creepy. Not Disability Scoop itself, but Google and its efforts sound creepy. It's very well. I'll show you. It's it's interesting. It's also cool, but it's weird. Let's um let's get here. No thanks to the sign up. Okay, so Google is seeking to improve smartphone accessibility. It's about time. It's about time. The one thing that they have been lagging behind in is accessibility. Apple has been lagging behind in its smart home tech. It's been really being eclipsed by Amazon and Google, but still Apple is leading in accessibility, and so I think Google is starting to notice that. So this says Google is offering up new ways for people with various disabilities to more easily use their smartphones. Good, as it should. The technology giant said that it's now possible to control Android powered smartphones hands free by using simple gestures like smiling, raising eyebrows, or looking to one's direction. That's cool, but also very creepy because this means that the facial recognition software on Google smartphones is ridiculous. Like, not that facial recognition software on cell phones isn't already ridiculous, but if you have made a smartphone that is able to be controlled by a smile or, just a glance to one side or, the raising of an eyebrow, that's next level shit. That's creepy as fuck. The new options are available through two tools: camera switches and Project Activate, which use machine learning technology and the phone's front facing camera to pick up on gestures. Again, like I said, very cool that this is a tech that can be used, but super creepy. Camera switches is a feature inside Switch Access, a long standing option allowing people to use adaptive buttons to use called physical switches to control their phones. The new offering allows users to assign 6 types of facial gestures to different actions like returning to the home screen or opening notifications. Okay, so I guess the switch access feature could be used for somebody like me, to assign a gesture, like a physical gesture on the screen to do something. This is probably to assist people, like people who are quadriplegic, um, people who can't speak, to use voice assist. This is, like I said, cool, but super creepy that the facial recognition software and the machine learning is getting this good. Project Activate, meanwhile, gives users the ability to assign these same facial gestures to more complex actions like speaking a preset phrase, making a phone call, or sending a text. Okay. Um, but how if they need to use these gestures to do those things, do you have programs, are you going to have programs in the phone that are going to then assist them in speech, because if they need to control their phones with gesture, like facial gestures, then are they able to speak on the phone? Are they able to dictate a text message, or even to type a text message? Are you going to develop your facial recognition to, is a series of blanks could mean send a yes text, send a no text. Um, just like this is a good step forward, but just some thoughts on it. The gestures are customizable, Google said, so users can determine how long to hold a gesture or how big it must be in order for the phone to respond. Okay, so like depending, it could be just a tiny little eyebrow lift, or a half smile. You don't have to do a crazy Joker smile every time you want to do something. Every day, people use voice commands like "Hey Google" or their hands to navigate the phones. However, that's not always possible for people with severe motor and speech disabilities, wrote Lissy Lilienfeld, a project manager and Google researcher with Alan Nickum, a product manager with Google's Central Accessibility Team, in a posting announcing the new offerings. Quote, now it's possible for anyone to use eye movement and facial gestures to navigate their phone, since sans hands and voice. That is cool, and I really do hope that they can develop more, so because this, while this is a really big step forward and really really cool, there, I do see limitations, like if you can't speak, being able to make a phone call unless you have a secondary device that you can use, that you can tap a certain preset phrase and it will speak out loud, as I know those things. I think Apple has a couple of those for the iPad. So I'm not sure if they're going to develop a program that would help these people speak on a phone call or get a text message written, which, but still, this is a very cool step forward, and good for Google for doing that. I think maybe they've I know TalkBack, their version of VoiceOver has improved significantly, but I know that it's still not quite on par with VoiceOver. And I'm wondering if Google has decided that, since Apple has basically had the ability to make their products talk since the 80s with the Apple II, with that little button, I'm wondering if Google has decided that maybe this is their way to go to break the next ground level for accessibility. The updates are aimed at people with motor and speech disabilities, Google said, and the new tools were developed with feedback from people who rely on alternative communication technology. Well, you know what? At least Google had the brains this time to go and get feedback from the specific group of people that they wanted to help. Good for them. And I know Apple did the same thing with the VoiceOver and the Zoom text and the Braille screen input and all of those things. So this does seem like Google has almost decided that Apple has basically cornered the market on the speech accessibility, the VoiceOver technology. So I think maybe that this is their foray into groundbreaking accessibility. And while it is amazingly groundbreaking. And I commend them for it. It's still really creepy that the machine learning is that good and that the facial recognition is that good. Could you have imagined even 15 years ago that 15 years from then we would be reading an article talking about the possibility of controlling your phone with your facial expressions? That is disturbing and awesome at the same time. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this article from Tuesday, October 19th. This is the video date. And I also hope that you will join me for Canadian Wednesday tomorrow, October 20th. Have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.